Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the third episode of the Nintendo podcast. Today we are discussing BotW, aka Breath of the Wild. And sorry, but Air404 is not here to join us today, but he will be in the next one where we will be discussing Mario Kart 8. Without further ado, I will be shouting out 3 people in this video, so comment what your favorite Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild character is, and I'll be shouting out 3 people in one of the next videos. Anyways, let's get right to the podcast. Okay, guys. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a very interesting game. And I remember back in 2016, close to the end of it, when they revealed the trailer, and it was amazing, and it had an animation. And it had Link jumping off a horse, shooting a guardian. Now, at this point, there was a ton of speculation of whether there were going to be 2 genders to pick from in this game, because obviously Link had long hair. He never has really before, and everyone thought it was a girl. So people either thought that the main character in this game is going to be a girl, it's going to be not Link, and it's going to be a girl. It's going to be Link, but you can choose between a girl or a boy. Or the main character in this game isn't going to be Link at all. And all of those were out of this world because it's never happened before. So people were wondering what is happening. But it was just Link. And I thought that was a very cool trailer, and I was so hyped for this game when the trailer was first released and everything like that happened. Now, what sets this game out apart from other Zelda games is it is one of the only open world Zelda games, and open world games are awesome, and when you mash it with Zelda, it's just perfect. Now, what makes this game awesome is there are so many different puzzles, from shrines to Korok seeds to divine beasts. They're all amazing, and it is so fun even to just ride around in a horse or on the Master Cycle with the new DLC. It's just mind-boggling to think about it. There are so many different bosses, enemies, and there are so many challenges, and it's just so much more diverse than any other Zelda game. I'm kind of rambling on, so let's just break it down a bit. So the first part that makes this game stand out from any other Zelda game is its graphics. Its graphics are insanely better than what it used to be in the older Zelda games. Now, a gameplay was released of this game because this game was supposed to release in 2015, and the graphics were out of this world. The game was different. It was so different. But luckily, the game got delayed, so they had 2 more years to develop it, and it eventually came out in 2017, making the mechanics better, the controls better, and the graphics better, and the overall feel much, much better. Now, the game also has amazing graphics, and it makes it more immersive. The sounds are beautiful, and I think this is one of the games that has the best quality out of any game on the Switch. And that's saying a lot. The Switch is one of the most revolutionary consoles ever, and it has some of the best graphics ever, but Zelda just tops the cake. Now, another thing that makes Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild stand out is its playability. Now, its playability is so good because you don't just follow a main story and do all the stuff for the main story and then the game's done. There's stuff you can do while you're waiting to play the main story. You can ride horses, do Korok seeds, shrines, fight guardians, all of that. But there's also a bunch of stuff to do after the game. Completing all the shrines to get all of the Breath of the Wild armor, the green tunic armor. Using amiibos to get all the weapons and armor that you can get from amiibos. Finding all the Korok seeds and getting the Korok's big poops. Yes, Korok seeds are Korok poop. It is confirmed, but yeah. There is so much to do after the game, and I just think that is amazing. Now, another thing is the weapons and enemies. Compared to the previous Zelda games, there are so many different creatures in this game, and I mean so many. There's bokoblins, moblins, there's There's Lionels, Hynixes, there's Koroks. There's just so many different creatures. There's squirrels, rabbits, foxes, bears, deer. There's the Yiga clan members and the Sheikah clan members. And the weapons are amazing too, because in the previous Zelda games, you had a set weapon, which was either a wooden sword, a master sword, whatever it is. You couldn't swap out weapons. But in this game, there are so many different weapons, shields, bows, arrows, everything combined that you can gather up and use. From ancient weapons to rusty weapons, shining weapons, guardian weapons, royal weapons, royal guard weapons, master sword, the goddess sword. There are just so many different weapons and at different power levels. Another thing, though, that made this game stand out is the runes. Runes are so cool because in the other games, you didn't have magnesis to lift that giant metal pillar out of your way. You didn't have cryonis to make a pillar come out of the water when you needed to get up a river. You didn't have the stasis to stop time and enemies. These runes are so cool, and one of my favorites is the camera rune. It's so cool to wear the Thunder Helm, which you can get in the Gerudo town, and just get struck by lightning and take a selfie while you're getting struck by lightning. And it is the best feeling in the world. And I just absolutely love this game, if you cannot already tell. But as well as this game being fun and playable and lovable, it is also one of the more difficult Zelda games out there. This game, when I first played it, took me a while to beat and still gives me challenges to this day. I bought the DLC for the Master Trials about, I think, almost like 5 months ago now, and I still haven't beat the final trials yet. They are so difficult, and some people would get mad and slam their controller over this, but it is actually very fun because it gives me hours and hours and hours of more game time. Now, this game I can show you on the Switch. I have over 300 hours on. I play it all the time. I have collected all the outfits, all the shrines, almost all the Korok seeds. I have done everything. I have got the three special horses you can get in the game. Epona, Storm, and I think Steed. Storm being Zelda's horse, Steed being Ganon's horse, and Epona being Link's horse. And I have gathered all the runes, all the abilities, the clothings, the jewelry. It's just so expansive. The regions. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the regions. The regions are just amazing. From the Hebra to the Gerudo Valley. From the, I forgot what it's called, but where Rivali lives, where the Rito people live, to Zora's Domain. They all have something unique about them. Zora's Domain being filled with water, wetlands all over, and more electric creatures are roaming around. In the Gerudo Valley, more things like the creatures are running around, like deserty creatures, sandy creatures, and sand seals are living there, including the Yiga clan. In the place where the Rito live, there are more icy-based weapons and flying-based weapons because they live right next to the Hebra Mountains. And finally, in the middle Hyrule area, there are more villages and plain flatlands to explore with guardians roaming everywhere. And this game just takes the cake. It is the best Zelda game ever. Anyways, guys, I do hope you enjoy this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment because I will be shouting out 3 of you. All you have to do is tell me your favorite character in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I'll shout you out in one of my future videos. With that being said, guys, I am Vortilify, and I'll see you in the next podcast/video. Thanks!